Hey, what's going on with the Kroger Albertsons merger? Because I want to see my grocery store prices start to go down. And this merger could derail that. So, where are we right now? Well, the Federal Trade Commission on October 30th halted the merger. And then 6 days later, after the election, Kroger's stock market price jumps up and Kroger starts moving forward with the merger again, even though the lawsuits against Kroger and the Federal Trade Commission has filed to stop them from merging. Even though all that's happened, now that they know who the new president is going to be, the Kroger merger is starting to move forward again. I'm going to just say that doesn't sound really positive for me. Were any of you guys reading some of the hate and discontent happening on Twitter? I guess Kroger's being accused of not delivering groceries and also not refunding their customers the money that they paid for these groceries that weren't delivered. And that's what you get when you don't have competition. They can pretty much do whatever they want. And for those of us who have been experiencing the pain of the health insurance industry, well, that industry was allowed to consolidate into just a few big players when this guy was president the last time. So, yay for us. Right now, one of the things that's really annoying is you're starting to see industry and the grocery markets start to, swill their narrative to us again. And I am just so incredibly tired of hashtag fake news, but, that's what we get. So here is one of the big papers that constantly supports whatever groceries wants to do, and that is International Supermarket News, ISN. They've been talking about this merger constantly, and they've been talking about, that this merger is going to be good for competition. They've been giving a real one-sided perspective of what this merger is going to do. And what's really nice is that they're able to pay for Google to shill that to the top of my search list. So every time I go onto Google and start my search, something from ISN pops up telling me what a great deal this merger is going to be. Somebody save me. But this latest one is that FTC stops the Kroger Albertson merger. Unprecedented. This merger, stopping it by the FTC is unprecedented. And, that's just a bunch of BS, because the whole point of the FTC here in the United States is to ensure free trade. Now, the only way you can have free trade is if you have a lot of competition. And the concern about this is where Kroger is looking to merge with Albertsons is in a specific part of the United States where this merger is going to give them 70% of the market. Now, if we compare this to the whole United States where Kroger and Albertsons is not competing, well, then, yeah, it's a smaller market share, which is what some of the data that they're pulling is showing, is that in the whole United States, they don't have 70% of the market. But if we limit it to where they're actually have their stores and where they're actually going to merge, then it's a totally different story. So what do you do? I mean, we get shilled so much fake news so that they can do whatever they want so much that, what can you say anymore? But here's where we're at. Their merger was halted. The elections happened. Their stock prices jumped. And then they started moving forward with the merger again, even though The FTC has halted it, even though the lawsuits against this merger have not been settled. They're pretty sure now they're going to be able to merge. And you and I are going to be able to experience higher prices, crappier food. I mean, did you guys see what we got to buy this last year during winter? I mean, what was that from a produce perspective? What was that? I mean, I would get these tomatoes that they had used, they had sprayed so that they turned red, but they were so green, they were so hard that it wasn't even good for fried green tomatoes. So, yeah, the produce was hideous and it continues to be hideous, which is why this year I spent all my time searching out organic farms and canning. So at least I'd have vegetables through the winter since I'm not getting them from the grocery store. Okay, so that's where we're at. Okay, good luck to you and me. Hopefully, something positive happens with this merger. Hopefully, they're not allowed to merge, and hopefully, we're able to keep some sort of free competition so that we can get products from a diverse audience of manufacturers. And you're wondering, what do I mean by that? Okay, go into the grocery store today and look at how much private label is there. So in Safeway, it's Signature. And so look at how much of the shelf space is now being consumed by private label. In some instances, it's like 20 to 50%. There is so much private label in there. But what if you want brands that give better, or that use organic products, or that for sure is better for you? Well, as we move forward into private label, I don't know that you're going to be able to get that type of product anymore. So the merger from a consumer perspective is a really bad deal, but from a private equity perspective, which Cerberus is the major shareholder of Albertsons, and that's a private equity firm, and from consolidated corporations like Kroger, it's a real good deal for the 1%. Okay, until the next time, I will catch you on the other side.